national grant, came over to South Central, hey, do you guys want to look into this? And then they come to me to do it. And I was thinking, people know what benefits are available. People know. It's the misconception that I have here. The target population knows what benefits that they receive. So why do I want to get into this and try to target folks to help them with their benefits? The target population knows what benefits that they're eligible for. And that is absolutely wrong. And I've learned over the years now, doing the ADRC, how wrong that I really was when this concept first came to me. The target population knows who to call. That's wrong. They don't know us, and I know y'all heard a few times today about that people just don't know us. That doesn't mean we haven't put a whole lot of hard work into for people to know who we are. It's just not, the population changes, people are getting older, it's just not catching everybody, and we're hoping that this is going to be target population who are eligible for benefits, they already receive these benefits. Wrong. I learned, especially recently, I just talked to Don about something I'm going to tell you guys about that I'm really wrong on that misconception. Obtaining information is easy. Representatives with big agencies know what they're talking about. Big agencies are. Medicare, and I'm glad nobody from Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security here talking on some, but those are the big agencies I'm talking about. And everybody has had different training. Everybody has different expertise, and we find as we get calls that everybody at the big agencies don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. The target population, all they have to do is call, and they will get the help that they need. Okay? I always do this, and Jan wanted me to speak today because the time that she saw me speak, I was speaking to our target population, our elders, caregivers, family members, etc. And I always say, when you call Medicaid, you call Medicare, you call the Social Security Administration, you get the voice automated system, you start with option 1, it goes to option 10. By the time you get to option 10, you forget what option 1 was. You know what they do? They hang up the phone in frustration. So now that brings you to people do not have the benefits that they are eligible for. And a lot of times it's because of that frustration that they experience with calling the big box place or not able to get through, and the wait time is 30 minutes, and you can go on, and that's exactly what happens. So I fell for that misconception, and since I have learned my lesson. And through the years of doing this ADRC concept, you learn more and more, obviously, about resources and benefits, but you learn more and more about your population and what they do not know. Doesn't mean that they're dumb. They're not. It's just not there in front of them, and everything is complicated. Okay. That brings me to my next point. What is the problem with this? Why this misconception? Why do they not have the benefits? Why do they not know who to call? Why can't they just sign up when they're told about a benefit? And this is, I'm proud of this one. This is why I'm here. This is one of the reasons. Benefits are named by letters and acronyms. How many times today have y'all heard of acronym? Or part A, B, C, D, right? Okay. So get this. And think of it this way. Maybe I'm 75 or 80 years old, and this is what I'm trying to do. Okay. You call SSA. Y'all know who SSA is? Okay. Social Security Administration. You apply for SSDI or SSI, right? You call about Medicare because you are 65 or on SSDI. You get A and B automatic, although you can opt out. Some people can opt out. You have to choose D. You have the option to change from A and B to C. And you can even get C with D. Or you can have C without D. It's good, man. Now C is also known as an MAP, or a Medicare Advantage plan, which another name is HMO, PPO, PFFS, SMP, PSO, or MSA. Can you believe that? So if I'm 75 or if I'm 65, scooting into the Social Security Medicare system, this is what you get, right? Oh, and by the way, the SMP is a special needs plan for folks with ESRD, or end-stage renal disease. So you've got acronyms for everything. Did I mention Medigap plans? or supplement plans? Or supplement plans? You can get A, B, C, D, F, G, K, L, need food, you apply for SNAP. If you're over 60, you can apply by using the ASAP act. There's another. You know who I work for? SCADC. And for those that are at Cooperative Extension, you work for ACES. That's what we got, ACES. You need Medicaid or need help in the home, you can look into the PACE program, or you can look into the program. You catch my drift. It goes on and on with these acronyms. I'm not here trying to promote governments and all these acronyms that come up, but it's the reality. That's what happened. People were throwing all these acronyms or the full names: Medicare Advantage Plan, Supplement Plan, A, B, C, D, HMO, PPO. It goes on, and they get confused. I'm gonna add that to my
There are too many things.
You're just dating yourself.
We just like it while you say.
All right, so that's number one. Benefits are named by letters and acronyms, okay? And there's a lot of other factors you can include, of course, with that. Number two, eligibility criteria are different for each benefit or program. Okay, some benefits go by household size, right? Another benefit goes by are you single or married, and it doesn't go by the household size. Some benefits consider assets, and some do not consider assets. If applying for SNAP, for those that don't know SNAP, Senior Nutrition Assistance Program, which is food stamps, okay? People still know about food stamps. You have to bring up food stamps when you're talking to folks, because that's what they know, although they haven't used food stamps. If applying for SNAP, if you are under 60, DHR goes by household size and gross income of the household members. If you are over 60, household members go by net income. If you buy and prepare meals with anyone in the household, you prepare SNAP. Gets really difficult. But there's different applications for different ages, over, under 60, however many in the household. If there's any under 60, you go by net income. If you're over 60, you go by gross income. Thankfully, and this is where I go into the ADR, when we go into ADRC, we have people that are skilled and becoming skilled in what's the differences, what's the eligibility criteria for the benefits, etc. Some programs go by age, but a spouse or child under that age cap may receive the assistance as well. Some go by if you are on SSDI, SSI, whatever it is. There's a lot of confusion there. Number three, age and health. And we can talk about age and health for a long time about why they can't access or understand benefits. Obviously, cognitive issues. You have folks who may be able to get in stage of dementia. Sometimes we get calls from folks who are in later stages of dementia. It's quite a conversation. But it may be somebody that does not have family support, or their children or their family live in Michigan or New Jersey, right? And they're looking for this assistance for mom and dad down south, and there's a lot of barriers there. Hearing difficulties. We get calls from folks with hearing difficulties. We've got folks with vision difficulties when you're trying to send them information and talk with them over the phone and they can't see it. You have all these things that you have to look at or go through, and then of course family support. Number four, application research, or if you hear other presentations about the ADRC, you're going to hear no wrong door, and you're going to hear single point of entry. Our agency, for our 6 counties, Bullock, Butler, Crenshaw, Lowndes, Macon, and Pike, we are the single point of entry for benefits and resources for that area. Okay. So, Robin gave you just a general overview of what an ADRC is. Let me kind of give you a walkthrough. So someone calls our office, a call is received, right, from one of the counties in our service area. They may have a specific question, and we can answer that question. Not only do we answer that question, but we ask them if we can ask an additional set of questions. Now, the additional set of questions is the key part. This is the part that's going to tell you what benefits are eligible for, what kind of assistance we can provide. Now, if it's somebody, which most of the calls we get is someone who is very willing to answer questions and very willing to tell you their entire life story, because we get talking to these folks. I enjoyed it. I love it. That's when the counseling ensues, right there. You get information from that person if they're willing to answer questions and provide information about themselves and tell you their story. Counseling ensues from that point. We can talk about long-term care. Most of the calls, in my opinion, most of the calls, without looking at stats of calls coming in, would be for in-home care. Somebody that needs someone to help them cook a meal or clean their home or help them do the bath, get dressed and do that. Well, not only can we talk about, in that realm of long-term care, the elderly and disabled Medicaid waiver program that can provide that assistance. We can also talk to them about Alabama Cares, that's for caregiver respite, if they have a caregiver that can use that break and use the money to have a sitter or an aide for them to help them. We can talk to them about home health, which is a medical resource, but it's something that we do referrals for often. We can also talk to them about hospice. Hospice has been something that is very interesting to talk to folks about, because hospice is almost like a bad word. You say hospice and it changes the dynamic of the conversation, right? But it's a great opportunity and happens all the time. And I have a specific case I'm going to tell you about that deals with hospice. But it's a great opportunity, and that counseling on long-term care, there again, not just answering how can I get an aide through Medicaid waiver to come to your home. It's going through the different ways or the different resources that are included under that realm of long-term care. And then we talk about hospice, and we're able to educate people more on hospice. That is not necessarily a bad thing, it's changed over the years, things like that. We can talk to them about assisted living. We can talk to them about, of course, nursing home care. We talk to them about how you pay for these things, who pays for it, is this a government type assistance program, is it private pay, especially with assisted living. People, they ask all the time, how can I pay for assisted living? There's not many answers to that. If it's private pay or what long-term care insurance or even VA can help with. That's the type of counseling that we can provide. Now, they call in and they ask a question about Medicare. We can go through all of our counseling and everything we do for this assessment, get them to SHIP, and then SHIP does their thing with Medicare. If it's about Part D, we're going to answer your questions about Part D, but we're screening for MSP and LIS, all in the same thing. But of course, you guys do senior RX and all these other things as well. If it's about meals, which we get a lot of calls about, somebody that may call and say, I need a home delivered meal because I'm unable to cook, or I'm just hungry and I don't know where to get food. Perfect opportunity to do benefit screening if they answer certain questions, and then go into options about food to make sure that they don't go hungry. Okay? And then always put in always add in other information. Okay? What I call core benefits is SSI, Medicaid, MSP, LIS, and SNAP. Okay? Core benefits. And then you've got other benefits, right? You've got other programs that we provide. You've got community action in the communities that help with electricity, gas assistance, and things like that. There's another category that we do, etc. have a lot of folks who are repeat callers. You know, they have a question about something else, and they wanted to talk to me again about this, or, you know, all these different things. And what it shows me is we've become, and if you research ADRCs online, you're going to see where it says a visible, trusted source. Okay, we're not in our counties. We may not be visible, but I guarantee you we're a trusted source because we get, and it shows in our system. We have stats on it to show how many repeat callers we have that will call back. That discuss the food options. Does the caller receive SNAP benefit? If no, screen and apply. If yes, how much? Okay, and here's the kicker that ADRC would do, that somebody else may not do, or another agency may not do, or even know about. With the SNAP benefit, they can recalculate your benefit anytime during the year. Okay, you send them information, say my name is Mary Smith, and here is proof of my shelter expense and my medical expense, which you can get deductions for regarding that benefit. You can increase that benefit that that person is already awarded. We're having a lot of success with this right now. Majority of the folks that you talk to, and if you go out there and talk to senior citizens and ask if they receive the SNAP benefit, you're going to get the same response from most of them as I only receive $10. Right now the minimum is $16. It may have gone back to $10. Most people receive the minimum amount. And so the advantage that we take there as an ADRC is we see this as an education opportunity. Let's educate this person on maybe why at one time they had $75 and now it's at $16. It's because they lost out on the deductions. You're looking at shelter and medical deductions. Well, we take in as an ADRC while we're doing our whole screening too, as we're working on this, is help them understand the deductions, help them get their proof together, help them increase that benefit so they're not going under any longer. And you get the same answer from a lot of folks about their low benefit. And we've successfully been able to hope to get more into this in the future. It takes time. Is to help folks increase their benefits. And we're talking the majority of the folks that we're talking about here. We're talking about senior citizens. We're talking about folks who are sitting out here trying to choose between buying medication and buying food. We're talking about people who worked very hard on farmland, worked very hard in these factories during the Industrial Revolution. These are the folks that I'd love to help increase their benefit from $16 to $75, which we saw recently happen. One lady we helped actually move $100 for somebody else. It's great assistance for producers. Not only would you talk about SNAP benefit and do the screening from there, of course we look at, depending on age, you look at the senior center. We've got senior centers in every county that do congregate meals where you can go eat, or homebound meals for those that are homebound. We talk about that. Then we go into talking about food pantries to help them that way. We talk about if they are disabled and need assistance in the home through helping them disabled Medicaid waiver, you can get home delivered meals through that as well. And then we do our screening something that if the ADRC was not in place, we would not have been able to connect. We wouldn't even known how to get her a CPAP mask infusion, which we know how to. I can talk about the presentation if we run out of time again. Also in Union Springs, this was a big one. A guy in his 20s lived in the nursing home. His power wheelchair, he is quadriplegic, power wheelchair, they will do his controller, it burned, motor burned. Okay, he's on nursing home Medicaid. You're on nursing home Medicaid, Medicaid's not gonna go out and buy you a brand new $20,000 wheelchair, okay? So what do? They have the nursing home usually keeps their supplies, they have an old wheelchair that he used that was about burnt out as well. Well, the ombudsman took the call, but came over and we worked with us, the ADRC, and through Easter Seals, through the care, what's called the CARE Project, probably about 3 weeks later, just in time, a lady whose husband had passed away, he had ALS, she donated this to the CARE Project, and it was a $30,000 wheelchair, bells and whistles, modified, had everything like that. I'm talking, I went and did, they took pictures and did a big party when they took this wheelchair, and I went to do the little function. And you talking about top of the line, it was awesome. So, anyway, it was that case where, because the ADRC has developed this partnership and knows the CARE Project on a name-to-name basis within the Easter Seals, we were able to connect that wheelchair with this nursing.
Nick, is that the same thing as the STAR project?
No, STAR funds the CARE Project.
Okay.
These are reusable, recyclable medical supply programs where families, of course, someone passes away, what do we do with all this stuff? They give it to the program, the program issues out to other folks. We get stuff every week we're going to this place, we get all kinds of stuff. Wheelchairs, walkers, roll-leg walker, the hot item, that's the one you can sit down, it's got the brakes. That's the hot item right there. They get one in, it's gone like that. We get all kinds of stuff.
Is there a limited income for that, qualify for that?
No, there's not. There's no
Being disabled?
for that. Most people that we talk to are disabled.
And then they
we're
take,
able to get liquid supplements through that. We actually just recently got about 20 cases of liquid supplements that we got out to our Medicaid waiting girls that required the liquid supplement. Not somebody here just drink this. Somebody at the doctor said, look, nutritionally wise, you need to have this insured. Glucerna for diabetics, some Nepro for folks who are renal, things like that. Diapers, adult diapers, bed pads, we've got case after case after case of this kind of stuff. And this is something that our AAA utilizes that usually when I bring up for other AAAs in the state, I don't think they're utilizing this. The lady that runs the CARE Project is now calling my phone currently wanting us to go into a partnership, to go out and do some drives, some medical supply drives. That's something we want. They're in the Easter Seals next to Baptist South on the bypass.
and don't they take the old equipment and they refurbish it and then they donate it to somebody else?
Yeah, they know how to work on wheelchairs, they fix them up, they actually go out and use money donated to them to buy wheelchair batteries to get those up and working again. They clean them up.
This comes under Easter Seals?
No, they're housed in Easter Seals, it comes under the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services,
So
ADRS.
state
such a dire situation, I did a follow-up call the next day, and the lady passed away about 4 o'clock in the morning. But the daughter said, after we got off the phone, hospice was on my doorstep within about 30 minutes. And through the night, when her mom passed away, they had a bereavement counselor, they had aides in there, they had gotten her cleaned up, they did all these different things, and the daughter was completely ecstatic that her mom just passed away, but somebody cared enough to go do this, and it happened overnight. See, if we didn't exist, or the ADRC could do that, we may never have talked to this stuff. So it's still good. Crenshaw County, a guy in his 30s, brain tumor, came up about 6 months prior, called major mental, physical issues with this guy in his 30s. Sister called, stressed to the max, trying to care for her, doing the right thing. Already, let's see, he had done the disability thing, all these things, we're moving along and we're talking. And adult daycare, if you guys don't know about adult daycare, there's some great adult daycare centers in the state of Alabama. And this one, it's in Rutledge, Alabama, it's called Crenshaw County Adult Daycare. Wonderful, wonderful place. They had no idea about the place, and we talked about how to fund for, how to pay for it for him to be able to go. They're low income. I contacted the Department of Human Resources there in Crenshaw County. They actually had a slot open, one slot that doesn't really happen a whole lot this way. But they picked up the guy just like that, and he loves it. This was months ago, and he's still going. He loves going every day. They pick him up, they take him, they do breakfast, they do snack time, they do lunchtime. They have pool tables, they do all these games, they do Bible studies, they do all kinds of stuff. They actually took them last year, and I love these folks because I used to work with these folks when I first started in the church. I drive by and visit them every now and then. They took them to, they did a field trip to Biscuits baseball game here in Montgomery. Then they did a field trip to Greenville. They had the movie theater in Greenville. The guy had basically set aside some hours where only this group of folks with adult daycare get to go watch a movie. And I talked with my buddy that I used to case manage for, and he had never been to a movie theater. And so he just loved it, man. It's sad. So anyway, for this situation, it was a guy that now is going to a center, and his sister has stressed him. Okay? Crenshaw County, elderly woman living in a camper in the woods, has no utilities, no running water, no electricity, nothing. She has been for a long time. You have to be careful with these folks. Okay? And I'm not saying that bad. I'm saying some people don't want it. You have to be very careful. Back in my early days of starting out with social work, I'm about to help everybody. And that happened where the guy said, you haven't had electricity for 2 years. I'm like, well, gosh, let's talk to you guys. Let's get this thing going. I'm ready. He goes, whoa, hold on a minute. He said, all the money that I have extra, I'm putting my grandsons through college. He said, I don't need electricity. So you have to be careful with stuff. In this case, the lady would not talk to anybody except help, but I gave it my best. The senior center manager $186
New tons
a month.
split, there you go.
These folks are probably, oh, man, we're about to, we're going on a cruise. Goodness gracious, this is awesome. So anyway, it's just something that happened. Pike County, an elderly lady, I have to mention this before we're done, legally blind. She was in her 80s, legally blind, the caregiver for her 80s, in his 80s husband, who was completely bedbound. Right? She's the caregiver, legally blind. We go through the whole gamut of stuff. We're working on this stuff. Who knows what Oasis is? Oasis through ADRS, Rehab Services. That's the blind, visually impaired program. Okay, maybe never heard of it. Called them right away, name by name basis. I know all the Oasis folks called and said, hey, can you get this lady should get it? Well, before I could ever do a follow-up call, this lady called back and said, you ain't gonna believe what you did for me. And of course I'm like, hey, this is all Oasis. I just connected you to some great agency. And she started crying and everything's going on. They came and visited her. The case manager comes back for multiple visits, but they connected her with, or gave her, different types. And the only thing I can describe as inventions, okay, things that that allowed her to see. She said, I haven't seen my hair in 2 years, and I saw my hair for the first time with some big gadget thing. And she was so excited. So I called. I'm telling you, this lady was so ecstatic. The conversation was so good. I called ADRS and I said, hey, if you ever think about public service announcement, something for like a client to tell the story, this is the lady for you. Well, she called me the next week. They called her and wanted to, all expense paid, she couldn't because she's a caregiver, take her to their big statewide ADRS conference for her to give a little presentation on the assistance they provided. Well, she couldn't do it, so they connected in the conference. They did a speakerphone, and they called her and had her say how awesome Oasis was. It was a wonderful. Last one in Pike County, a guy, this is a long time ago, a guy called, his wife was severely disabled. He described it as a hermit in their home. They had a van, but they had no lift, they couldn't do a wheelchair or anything. She just couldn't get out of the house. We worked a care project out at Easter Seals again, and probably about 3 weeks later, the guy calls, Richard Malone, he says, you're not gonna believe it, but we just had a lift, a wheelchair lift, that goes on the back of a van or an SUV truck. It was donated to us, and it's about a $3,000 deal. You wanna call those folks? So I did. They came to Montgomery, and he put that lift on their van, and now she's getting out of the house. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So those are just examples. I have to tell you, they're just examples of calling into the agency to figure out what we need to go to the whole gamut of benefits and resources in the system. Last thing, event examples, just had to say, we did 11, farmers market, state farmers market does a farmers market program for seniors, and we did 11 events over the last maybe month and a half. We did it at senior centers. We went to them because you have to sign up for the farmers market through the computer, right, through their website. So we went to them and marketed or outreach flyers and everything for folks to come to the center and get signed up for the farmers market. And we did the screening. Okay, we're gonna help you with the farmers market. You need to answer these questions, right? Well, right around maybe more than 30, we found 30 Medicare savings that are about to be referred to. It was a huge, we couldn't believe, I was like, what? It just kept happening. So it may be right around 30 or more than 30 that we're about to refer, that y'all gonna have to start getting out this NSP application. Folks are paying their part B, right? We got about 15